Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution Weekend Edition. Happy Saturday, Super Bowl weekend. What is going on? What is going on? I don't have much to talk about today, so we probably won't run over too much hobby hotline on today at 10 o'clock Central. So, but I wanted to sleep in. I was good yesterday. Like I staying up late. I was up after midnight Thursday night after our sale. Woke up and I think I was on time Friday morning for Hobby Evolution and went through the day. And then all of a sudden, it's like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I need a nap, but I didn't take one. I think I took a quick nap though. I laid on the Shakti mat because my neck, I think it was because I was on the computer all freaking day Friday, Thursday. And I was like looking forward to getting on that Shakti mat. And I did. And I remember checking, and I was my wife and I, which I want to talk about the show we've been watching. So I was kind of invested, so I didn't want to put my headphones on and listen to music. So I just laid down on the Shakti mat, and I looked to see how long I was on. It was like 13 minutes. Laid back down. I kind of put my arm, like just relaxing, almost in a meditative state. And I'm like, I could fall asleep. Needles in my back. I could fall asleep. Next thing I know, I think I just kind of like casually woke up, and I looked at, and I was at 35 minutes because I set a little stopwatch thing. I'm like, holy shit, I think I fell asleep. So I'm like, okay, that's 35 minutes is good. I get up, and my wife goes, I didn't know if you were going to get up. And I go, I think I fell asleep. So we were watching what my wife had turned on, and I have become a fan of this show as well. It's on Netflix. Have you seen Love on the Spectrum? It's a dating show basically that follows the dating lives of a few people on the autism spectrum. And it's fascinating. In some parts I find funny, which we probably shouldn't laugh. But it's television, so we can. But there's some characters that you just like more than others, and it doesn't matter, just the way it is. So there's one guy on Love on the Spectrum, and I don't think he's introduced until like the second or third episode. We had binged. I think we binged like 4 episodes. Well, I binged 3, and then the 4th was on as I fell asleep on the Shakti. This kid's from Clemson, South Carolina, and he's like overly happy and smiley. And like at first, it's like, I really like this kid. And then it's like, oh man, he's a bit much. He's a bit much. There's a girl, her name's Danny, and she's very smart, and I think they all are, but she's very she communicates much better than, like, you can tell she's on the spectrum, and she just communicates differently. But she's kind of pretentious, and I've come to not like her on the show. Love on the Spectrum. Check it out. It's on Netflix. I had lunch with Brian. Brian's in the chat. What's going on? We had lunch at Athens Grill, which is Greek. Had a hero. I almost called it a hero. A gyro. I'd never been there, but I've been by there several times because it's on the way I go to the airport. Take the back way. The scenic route. It's also the fastest route too. So I pass by it all the time, and not that I'm going to the airport all the time, but when I go to DeForest, to the Fleet Farm to pick up tables, the card shop when I went the other day, there's another restaurant there. What's it called? I think Skipper Bud's is like the marina, but there's on the water there's a seafood restaurant, which is pretty good. Went there once. So just go the back way. Oh, when I go to like the Madison Mallards games, I take that way. So it was good. Athens Grill, Euro. Brian was dangerously low on card savers, so sold him a box of card savers. Had a Euro. Went to the post office, made 2 trips to the post office. So everybody who participated in the sale, you should either have received an email with your tracking information or it's uploaded to the PayPal transaction. So either an email or PayPal. All the boxes that were sold on Thursday night were shipped yesterday. So how about that? I'm way faster on YouTube than I am on eBay. Takes a couple days to get your stuff on, to get me, I'm backed up. Plus, they were already boxed up. It was, I will say, okay, after, and the boxes are already packed. Like, they're all ready to go. Like, I don't have to go through like stacks of cards and be like, okay, Brian bought this card, that card. I've got to go find those cards, match it up. Like, I cannot imagine doing stack sales. Like, I think Brian and I talked about this at lunch a little bit yesterday, because Brian's done some Twitter stack sales. And I mean, YouTube would not be like, YouTube live sales are good for like what I did. But I could not do like single sales. And I'm realizing, and I don't think sometimes it wouldn't be any more different than Twitter or Facebook or any other platform. It would. Although I can see why, at least on Twitter, you have like, you can match up the card to the name and then make your stacks. So it's a little easier. With YouTube. Like, how would you do it? Like, yeah, you go through the chat, but there's a lot of other stuff. Now, we did an auction Thursday. A stack sale would be buy it now on a stack sale, but I would not do a stack sale on YouTube. It would be too difficult. My brain doesn't work like that. Could it be done? Absolutely, but not by me. I would fuck it up. So, I did see a comment from somebody. The notes that I made, did I write them down? Yeah, I made some notes about the stack sale. So somebody had said, well, those all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 6 notes are why people use Whatnot. But like, none of the notes that I wrote down like are going to prevent me from doing another sale on YouTube, because we will. We will absolutely do another sale on YouTube. I'd like to do one before spring training, so within the next month. So I'm thinking, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I can buy some more inventory. Maybe dump off some of my dime box stuff. And then I do have some more boxes, like especially baseball, that I didn't even touch for this past week's sale. There may be I think there's some basketball and maybe some football that I didn't get to. So there's still plenty of inventory I have on hand. It's just putting it all together. I think Paul Carl asked yesterday, how long did it take? It took a long time. It took a long time because I'm going through the boxes and I want to make sure there's good stuff. I don't want to just take stacks and then this box is filled with, base cards with no inserts, no refractors. I wanted to make sure there's refractors and color in every box. So, so all the 6 notes that I took down, they're not going to prevent me from, it's not going to like these the 6 things that I noticed aren't things that, well, this sucked, I'm going to go do on Whatnot, because I'm not. Like register to bid, that could be a hang up in the future. It wasn't this time, but maybe it will be. It's not going to prevent me from doing another sale. Moving the start time up earlier, that's just anywhere. Setting an auction start time on eBay. I mean, that's just no matter what platform you're on, you got to do a start time. Whatnot, you got to set a start time. So that has no bearing on what platform you use. The timers, it's a little trickier to do it on YouTube. I got to have a stopwatch or something. You may not see it. I don't think there's a time. I guess there's a 30-second timer that I could throw. Could I do that in the middle of I could do a 30-second timer. Actually, you know what? We probably will do that. Like, okay, 30 seconds. What else? Juicing the box. That doesn't have any bearing on what platform you use. Final bid phase due to a lag. That's something that, sure a whatnot is going to be a little better. And then experimenting with other stuff. I mean, that's so really only a couple of those things is it would be better on, a whatnot or an eBay live, or I think, does Loop still do a live auction? So yeah, we will definitely do another YouTube sale of bargain boxes, just like we did it. I think Sean mentioned in a comment on YouTube about doing a mixed box, and I think that's a good idea. And I'll take suggestions, absolutely, because I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. I mean, I'm doing it like it for me. It gives me, puts a few bucks in my pocket, and I get rid of inventory. So it's a win-win, but it's also a win-win for you. So whatever you have as a suggestion, we may use, and I think that's a good one. Like, maybe we'll try it. Like, here's a mixed box. It's got, because each flat rate box, I put 3 boxes inside. So I think one box had like 5 because I was running out of like the standard size boxes I was using. So, 400 cards in each box. So this box has 1,200 cards. 400 cards are baseball, 400 football, 400 basketball. Or somebody's like, can you do a non-sport hockey and soccer? Yes. So we can do that. And maybe like as we, we make them on the fly. Like maybe I say, okay, I've got a 400 count box of non-sport, a 400 baseball, 400 football, make your own. And if somebody's like, hey, and we'll do that. So there's so many things we can do and have fun with it for both me and you that I'm looking forward to future auctions. I had a lot of fun, and normally the fun when it was not fun, it was the not fun parts were when there was like no action, no bidding, and I'm just like showing cards. And that's why somebody asked, like, would you ever do breaks? No, because I think it's boring. Now, I enjoy sitting on the floor and opening packs, which I'll be doing hopefully Monday. My UPS tracking says my Topps Series 1. By the way, I did get my tracking from Topps. My jumbo case of Series 1 will be delivered according to the UPS tracking Tuesday, which is a bummer because I know it's already out. Like, there's already early arrivals. So I'm already going to be late to the game with my sales because I still got to rip it. I got to sort it. I got to list it. So I'm going to be a little behind, but I still think I'll make money on my case of Topps Series 1. Has anybody, speaking of Topps Series 1, has anybody been out? Was anybody out Thursday or Friday this week at Walmart or Target? Did you see any retail Series 1? I'm not sure. I know in the past, pre-Fanatics, they would, the retail was always out, and retail would be popping up in stores like the Wednesday before or the Thursday before release week. Maybe not quite that early, but certainly the Friday. So I'm curious if retail is out. I kind of think Fanatics control probably not releasing that early because they want to get that hobby. They want to get their money, which I don't blame them. It's a business. So I am curious if anybody has seen any. Somebody messaged me yesterday and asked. I didn't go out yesterday. It wasn't even, after I met Brian for lunch, I'm like, maybe I'll run over to Walmart just to see, because I actually wanted to buy some Bowman U basketball because she's Caitlin Clark from Iowa who's in it. It's not her first, but hey, I saw like a refractor sell for like $60 or $80, and I'm like, if I buy a few boxes. I did pull a Caitlin Clark base chrome. I haven't listed yet. I'm just waiting. See, this is sometimes I don't like, I'm a rip and flip. But with like Caitlin Clark, it's like, well, she's going to break the record, like the next 2 games or whatever it is. Like, I'll just wait. And, a couple days before I'll list it. In fact, maybe this weekend I'll list it. And, you'll get that premium when she breaks the record. Talking Series 1, James says, Ellie Series 1 selling for $15 a pop. Well, that's actually lower than I expected. Remember Wander Franco Series 1 rookies? I still have the chart. I charted Wander Franco rookie prices. At release, like pre-release day, they were selling for $30, $30 to $40. Of course, that was also a different time in the hobby. So $15 a pop, that's kind of what I guess that's kind of what I thought Ellie Series 1 rookies would go for. By the time I get my boxes, by the time release day rolls around, they'll be $5. So, and then a week later, they'll probably stay at $5 until there's just a massive, and more. There's going to be a million of them, literally a million print run on those cards. Once they all get to market, it's the old supply and demand. Right now, there's a lot more demand than there is supply, and people that are buying them at $15 a pop just don't realize, there's going to be a million of these. They're going to be in dollar boxes by the end of the year. So just chill. You don't need to spend $15. If anybody out there is on the fence about buying an Elly De La Cruz right now, don't even go to my store when I start listing them. Well, by the time I list them, they'll be at fair price. So do go to my eBay store. Let's get the banner up. 99centcards.com. Sales are a little bit slower in my eBay store. And I think there's a few different reasons that I can attribute. One is I'm just not listing good inventory. And that's the main reason. If your sales are down, look in the mirror, look at your listings. What are you doing? And I can tell you my listings are not that great. I did list a batch the other day and boom, I got like $75 in sales. But a lot of my listings are junk wax air. I did list a bunch of Ichiros, which I thought those would move a little faster than what they are. But like Will Clark, Don Mattingly, Cal Ripken Jr., Kirby Puckett, Tony Gwynn, those, which I'm not listing those for a quick flip. I'm listing those because I know that there are player collectors, and it might be 6 months down the road, but at some point there's going to be somebody come in and buy 10, 20, 30 Tony Gwynn cards. And it's like, hey, but it's not something that I'm not going to list it today and they're going to sell tonight or tomorrow. So I'm just not listing a lot of hot inventory. I also did decreased my sales promotions ad rate. I went from a 12% max on dynamic to I think 8%. It is affecting my impressions. So I'm gonna play it out for about 2 weeks. It's only been a few days since I've done this, so I just want to keep a track on it. I do have one of the reasons I'm doing this is because in a few days I'm going to be listing Top Series 1, and people will be coming to my store looking for Top Series 1. Do I necessarily have to promote at 12%? Probably not. Do I need to promote at 12% for Cal Ripken Jr. 89, Topps, Donruss, Fleer? Yeah, probably. Because there's a lot more competition. Now, there's going to be a lot of competition for 2024 Series 1, but there's going to be so much demand right out of the gate that those are the things I'm weighing. So I'm going to give it 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. I'm definitely going to see an increase in traffic and sales next week. Even the Top Series 1, 2024 Top Series 1 that'll be listed in my store, that'll bring traffic that will trickle down into other sales. Somebody's like, oh, I'm going to go see what is Series 1. And they're like, oh, I didn't see he listed this Ivan Drago card. And then boom, you get sales from the trickle down effect. So, and that's why a lot of times I'll go dig through like $5 and $10 boxes, and I'll look for cards that, I've done this with vintage because I don't have a very strong footprint in vintage, but sometimes I like to have it. And I know if maybe I buy a card for $10, say it's a second year Mike Schmidt card, and I pay $10 for it. Say it's a $15 card. I don't know if those prices are legit or not, but let's just use those numbers pulled out of my ass. You sell it for $15 after fees, it's break even, and I think Mike Schmidt's probably a poor example. Let's say Mickey Mantle. Say I find a Mickey Mantle, and that's going to be a little higher price points, but say it's a Mickey Mantle or Willie Mays. That's going to drive in. People are going to be interested just because of the name. And they're going to come in, they're going to, oh, wow, he's got a whole bunch of 74 tops that I need. I'm building this set. It's going to bring in a different set of buyers. So that's why I like to kind of experiment with, especially top of mind. If I can pull a bunch of Otanis, or Michael Jordan is a perfect example. If I can find a bunch of Michael Jordans for 50 cents to $1, I know I'm not making much profit on those, but it may bring in traffic that wouldn't necessarily come to my store because right now I may not have any Michael Jordans in my store. So that's kind of the thought process behind it. What's up, chat? Ryan Sells in the house. Good morning. Dave Richard is here. Good morning. Brian, what's happening? Jamie, good morning. James, we just talked about that. JK Cards, what's going on? He also received his Top Series 1 shipping notification. Split a hobby box with a buddy and having a rip party next weekend. Oh, cheers to that. How fun is that? I don't have any, I don't even know when my case is coming. So I'm just going to have a one-man rip party. I'm hoping Monday. I'm hoping it gets delivered Monday, but UPS says Tuesday. And I mean, it's more than likely it's going to be a day late than a day early. So I'm not counting on Monday delivery. Sheena, what's going on? Good morning. He's going to an Illinois card show. They only advertised it on Instagram, so hope it's good. Interesting. Which card show is it? I'm not on Instagram much, so I wouldn't know. Where's the Illinois card show? I'm curious. Joe Olivo, what's going on? Good morning. JW says, good morning. Hoping to get my notification from Topps soon. Excited about the new release. I'm curious where you're at because somebody mentioned, was it JK that mentioned he's in Arizona? Somebody mentioned they're in Arizona. They received their notification on Wednesday, which makes sense that I would get my notification on Friday based on zone. So JW, are you, I think mine shipped out of Ohio. So I'm assuming if you're like in Ohio, you're probably going to get your notification on Monday. Let's see, because I think the last update it was in Maumee, Ohio, which I am familiar with because in my previous life working in transportation, we did some business in Maumee, Ohio. For my soil client. I think there's a big is it landscape? The Andersons. I think they have a Maumee location. UPS tracking. I think it was shipping out of Maumee. Let's see. UPS. And by the way, I like UPS far better than FedEx. Track. Click. I don't know why I couldn't access this in Topps.com. Columbus, Ohio. So it looks like it originated in Columbus, Ohio. JW's in Southwest Michigan. So there you go. You're not too far from Columbus. So yeah, you'll probably get your notification on Monday. And I'm guessing that's they're trying to get deliveries Monday and Tuesday ahead of release day for those pre-orders. Good morning, Turkey Cards. What's happening? Johnny V. Hey, you're welcome. Thank you. Ordered a 75 Clay Kirby. Dan, what's up? He did a 100 card upload for Pokemon last night on Card Dealer Pro, and it worked great. Just an FYI. I've heard multiple people say that the Pokemon is really accurate on Card Dealer Pro. I think it launched in beta last week or a few days ago, and it went live publicly yesterday. And I know I've got a few people that I know locally that are excited and they're jumping in, going to do a trial run of Card Dealer Pro. They are using the promo code Cubs. If you're Pokemon, I doubt any Pokemon people are watching this show. But if, where are we at? Where's my Card Dealer Pro? If you use that promo code Cubs, CUBS, you'll get 500 free scans upon your paid subscription. So I always tell people, like, if you haven't used Card Dealer Pro, you can do a 7-day trial run. And that's what I did. That's how I got started. And once I realized, oh shit, this is awesome. Like, this is going to save me a ton of time. So do a trial run and don't just use it once or twice. Like, use it a few times and just play around with it to build your efficiencies. And, you don't even need 7 days. You could probably build your, if you set some time in a day, you can do multiple batches to play around with it and you'll figure it out. It's not for everybody, but I think it's for most people. If you're definitely in volume selling, it's definitely, I think if you're a volume seller, it's game changer is too often used. It's beyond game changing. So check it out. 500 free scans using promo code Cubs. Go to cardealerpro.com. Kyle's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. We'll catch the replay later while sorting NASCAR TTM cards. Very nice. Very nice. James says Andrew Painter, 2021 first draft. Shit's selling fast. I'm not sure if there's one of the more modern years, and it might be 2021, where I didn't have much Bowman draft. Might be 2020. What's the box over here? I think I have 2021. I'll have to go check. That's kind of one of my priorities is getting my Bowman sorted. Cooter, what's going on? Good morning. He's headed to the Oklahoma Sports Museum to check out a bunch of baseball memorabilia. That sounds fun. JW's in Southwest Michigan. Jody says, got my Topps notification yesterday. Very nice. Sal Dougie's here. Good morning. Checking in from the Don Q Inn this morning. Where's the Don Q Inn? I'm curious. It looks like he's flying somewhere. He's popping some champagne and flying. Warwick Dunn PC says, need Card Dealer Pro to do Star Wars and Marvel. I would imagine that's probably on the horizon. I don't know, but I would guess that non-sports is definitely a priority. I know TCG was like one of their top priorities. So it wouldn't surprise me. You know, it's kind of like what's the most demand for? And, you know, I know TCG was in more demand than hockey and soccer for sure. And probably like basketball and not football. I think baseball and football, but I bet TCG is more popular than baseball. I don't know. I wonder if they're, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, Pokemon. No way. But yeah, I bet there's more Pokemon sales than basketball sales. Can somebody go on eBay right now and look that up? I don't know what the easiest way to do that is, but I wonder. Here, I'm just going to Pokemon, and I don't even know what category you would look for. So we're going to do Pokemon. I just typed in Pokemon. How do I find sold? Sold items. All right. Now we want to make sure we're in the right category because there's a lot. Individual collectible card game cards. So we'll just do like singles. All right. 1.4 million plus. 1.4 million plus. All right. Basketball. 1.4 million plus. Remember that. Basketball sold completed. Oh, we're in the wrong category, aren't we? Sports, because there's 194. I'm like, oh, that's not right. That's not right at all. Sports trading cards. Trading cards singles. 1.6 million. So it's pretty close. Pokemon, 1.4 million sales on eBay. Basketball, 1.6 million. And that's just using the term Pokemon in the title, in the term basketball in the title. Is there a way to, I don't even know how, because it's hard, like, because not everybody says basketball card or Pokemon card. I don't know. There's probably a way to search by category, right? That's probably in the, which I rarely use, in the Terapeak. If somebody's faster at figuring that out, go ahead and do it. Blaine says, I need to see how it handles Yu-Gi-Oh! I bought a collection last year. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was in the update. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is now handled by Card Dealer Pro along with Magic and Pokemon. So check it out. Brian says, you were right about setting up specific conditions on my listings. I was then able to make the rest of my cards best offer. It worked out great. There you go. So Brian had an issue with, he was trying to get best off. So he had some listings that he did not enable best offer when he originally listed them. Now wants to go back and put best offer on them. So when he did a bulk edit, eBay was saying, no, you can't edit this to a best offer. And my thought was he's got some required item specifics that have not been met, and it's probably under the condition. Remember, they changed a few months ago, they changed the conditions. It's no longer ungraded, graded, ungraded. It's excellent, very good, near mint, fair, whatever the terms are. And by the way, if you have not changed those, you better do it fast because they will delete your listings. If your required item specifics are not met, eBay will eventually just phase them out and you'll be like, what happened to my listings? So get those changed. And you can do a bulk edit. It's kind of time consuming. You can do a CSV. You can export a CSV and just do, like, if you have 30,000 you need to change, it's probably going to be a lot faster for you to do the CSV than to do 200 at a time within the eBay website. Christian, good morning. Merle, what's happening? Good morning. Happy Saturday. Done with shipping. 2 orders. Now on to listing. There you go. I've got some shipping and some listing to do. I've got to find some good stuff to list. I need to strengthen my inventory quality. Mark says, on my way to a card show in Phoenix. So we've got Sheena going to a card show. Mark's on his way to a card show. No card show for me. Alan, what's going on? I wish I could get CDP. It's not available yet in Canada. So currently using ChronoCard. Really? Card Dealer Pro is not available in Canada. I did not know that. Scott says, do you use PayPal? Yes. I don't know in what context you're asking, but I do use context. I do use context. I do use PayPal. Like my PayPal is hooked up for my purchases on eBay. Sometimes I just use PayPal as kind of a bridge, and I'll put it on my credit card to get points. Then you just pay off your credit card so you don't get tagged with interest. So I use PayPal to buy things on eBay. I accept PayPal for card show vendors. I accept card show as payment at card shows. So yeah, I'm still using PayPal. I don't like it because my account's goods and services. So like at a card show, I don't like, I don't advertise I accept PayPal because then I get hit with the fee. I'd rather cash is king at a card show. But yes, I do use PayPal. Dan says, it's wild to think how far I've come with 2.0 since the transition. It's amazing. 2.0 is like 1.0 was like listing and the AI. And even if the AI didn't work, which now if the AI doesn't work, it's like you just click like, oh, it identified this as a silver foil and it's a base card. Just click. And sometimes it only takes one click and everything's updated for you. It's amazing. I cannot speak, and I know people, oh, you're on the commercial. You're on their payroll. I'm not on their payroll. I'm a paying customer of Card Dealer Pro. I do get affiliate, which is when you use promo code Cubs. That's it. Like I pay them. They pay me for the affiliate fees. But I like that because I can say that. Like, oh yeah, I can show you my bill last month. I paid them. I'm a paying customer. So you can't throw that in my face. So people say, well, you should get that for free, but that's just my stubbornness. Dan says, I love how I can put my logo underneath the card with Card Dealer Pro. See, I don't use that. I feel that takes away. This is my own personal opinion, my preference. I feel it takes away from the photo. I feel it takes it away from the card. And I get why. Branding and marketing is everything. But I just, on the eBay listings, I personally don't see a benefit. That was kind of a big sell. Like when I first started, that was like a big selling point they had. Now it's like, it's there, but I don't think they don't sell you on it as much as what they did initially. Merle says, I've got a stack of Pokemon cards here that I could try listing. I don't know hardly anything about Pokemon. I know nothing. I don't even think I'll use Card Dealer Pro to list Pokemon, even because I wouldn't here's the thing. If I list a card and it identifies it as something I don't know anything about Pokemon. So it could list it as some $10,000 card and I list it, it's $1.75 and they're like, somebody comes along and thinks they're getting a $10,000 card for $1.75. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And what, like, I can't believe how many fake cards there are of Pokemon. And like, not even like in fake cards and sports cards, they're like Mickey Mantle, 52 tops, 85 tops McGuire's, the Pete Rose rookie. Those are all like heavily faked. Michael Jordan rookie card, probably the most heavily faked. In Pokemon, it's like I had a card, like I had a bulk lot, and there were a few Pokemon cards like in a binder page that were in a random Goodwill pallet. And so I was just trying to sell them. Like I started out at like $80, and like a couple people looked and they're like, "Oh, this is all shit." And then I eventually traded it for junk wax sports cards. Just because it's like the junk wax sports cards have more, like, even though I might throw half of these away, like it's still better than Pokemon. But on top there was, and somebody came over to look at it, and a Pokemon dealer, and like he kind of told me, he's like, yeah, these are like bulk cards and whatever. And it was basically what I had was the baseball card version of 91 Fleer. Like that's what I had. And so he goes, "This is a fake." And I'm like, "It is? Like, how can you tell?" And I don't know. He can tell. And he's like, "Can I rip it in half?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's a fake. Please." So he ripped it in half, and there's like a line or a not line to identify if a Pokemon card is fake. And I'm like, so I'm thinking, oh, it's a fake. So this is like a real one's like worth $500. Like, why would you fake a shit card? And I'm like, so how much is the real card worth? And he's like, oh, like $3 or $4. And I'm like, why would you fake a $3 card? And apparently it's common in Pokemon. Where's Max? Where's my Pokemon? Where's the Hobby Evolution Pokemon expert? Is not with us this morning. But yeah, I guess it's like to fill decks to like play with. Because like it is a game. Like sports cards isn't a game. Like you just collect and look at them. Pokemon, like at least there's a utility to Pokemon cards. Us sports card guys, what do we do with them? Put them on our wall and put them in binders and look at them. There's no utility. No wonder our wives look at us funny. Pokemon. So yeah, it's just, I'll just pass on Pokemon. Andy Max says, I hate categorizing PayPal transactions. There are so many redundant entries and so much superfluous text on each line item. Andy Mac, you're showing off your educational vocabulary. Superfluous and redundant. I like that. All righty. That's about all I had today. It's 10:08, so Hobby Hotline's on. So I'm going to go ship. We'll talk Super Bowl tomorrow. Super Bowl Sunday is tomorrow. I am a homer when it comes to Super Bowls. I don't go to Super Bowl parties, and I certainly don't host Super Bowl parties. But I just kind of hang out at home, drink a few beers, watch the Super Bowl, go to bed. Just another day. I am rooting for the Chiefs tomorrow. Ironically, I was a fan of both teams at times in my life. So I was like, I've always been a Bears fan, okay? I've always been like a Chicago sports fan, but when it came to football and basketball, and hockey is not even a sport to me. Like hockey is just there. But football and basketball, I enjoyed. I was a Bulls fan during the first Michael Jordan run, but then Shaq came along. And then I became an Orlando Magic fan. And then the Bulls, Jordan came back and I didn't care. And I was, I don't even know who I rooted for when he came back. In football, I was a Bears fan. But then I think it was because of the JCPenney catalog. And so the JCPenney catalog would come and there's all these different sports shirts that I could order. And so, I wasn't a bandwagon jumper, but I would jump on bandwagons for like the color of the teams. I loved the black and gold of the New Orleans Saints. So I had like a New Orleans Saints hoodie. I was a 49ers fan because of Joe Montana. So I was a big 49ers fan like in that era. In the mid 90s, I went to Kansas City. Hee-haw! Because I went to the FFA, yeehaw, National Convention in Kansas City as a freshman in high school. and I bought a Kansas City Chiefs stocking hat. And then I'm like, I'm going to become a Chiefs fan. I'm a Chiefs fan when it comes to Tecmo Super Bowl. They're like very underrated. Everybody wants the Raiders and Bo Jackson when Christian Okoye and Derek Thomas are a great plan B in that game. So tomorrow I'm going to root for the Chiefs because I like Taylor Swift. Travis Kelce is fun. He's one of the greatest tight ends in football history. Patrick Mahomes, great quarterback. The 49ers are like Brock Purdy. That's it. Brock. Oh, I guess Christian McCaffrey. But the Chiefs there's just so much going on with the Chiefs. So I'm rooting for Kansas City in tomorrow's Super Bowl. Sal says Don Q is in Dodgeville, so did not fly. Oh, there's an airplane in the front yard of the Don Q Inn. It's like a spa hotel. They have a huge blue and white cargo plane pulled in front of the hotel. Now I know what you're talking about. Yes. Andy says it's too early for big words. Yes, it is. So that's what I had for today. Broncos in the house. Bad take, my friend. Anyone but F-bomb Chiefs. Yep, I'm rooting for the Chiefs today. Hey, Bronco, I've got to ask, were you the one that bought the Giannis lot on eBay? Because I when you messaged me or whoever messaged me, and they're like, I'll just pick this up at the Madison Card Show. And then when I saw the address, I saw your name, and I'm like, oh. So I just want to confirm that was you on the Giannis. And yes, I will bring them to the February show. So that's what I had for today. We'll talk more Super Bowl. Confirmed. Okay, good deal. So we will talk Super Bowl tomorrow morning. Head over to Bench Clear Media for Hobby Hotline. I'm not sure who's on, but I'm going to go into the other room, do some shipping. Might come back here and do some listing. So we'll talk Super Bowl tomorrow morning, probably same to 9 a.m.-ish. I always say 8:30, but it seems to be like 9 on weekends. So we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Go to cardealerpro.com. Go to my eBay store, all that good stuff. See you tomorrow. Have a great Saturday.